Hi, this is Grandma Lori. Today's story is Daisy, the library dog. There were 3 things Daisy loved in the world: her mom, children, and the library. When Daisy was in the animal shelter before Mom adopted her, children would come in and read to all the residents. She especially loved it when Callie read to her. Callie was a special girl. Daisy thought she looked like a fairy, but really she was just a small girl with a big heart. Callie wanted to adopt Daisy, but her mom said no. So Callie had to settle for reading to Daisy. One day, while on a drive with Mom, Daisy saw the library. Oh boy, there were books and people reading them. Just then, she saw Callie going into the library. What? She hadn't seen Callie in forever. She got so excited that Mom said, "Daisy, what's going on?" Mom parked the car and got out so she could go to the bank. As she opened the door, Daisy rushed out, running as fast as she could toward the library. The library had automatic sliding doors, so Daisy didn't have to ask someone to open the door. As it opened, she rushed in. She needed to find Callie. "What are you doing?" asked Mr. Jacobs, the maintenance man. "You can't be in here." Daisy ignored him. She was on the hunt for Callie. Daisy paused to look at all the books. There were thousands of stories just waiting for someone to read to her. It just made her even more determined to find Callie. "Hey, you can't be in here," said Mrs. Ertl, the librarian. "Come here, we need to find your owner." Daisy just looked at her and took off running. Mrs. Ertl almost caught Daisy, but Daisy sped up. As they passed each room in the library, Daisy would glance in to see if there were children there. Finally, Daisy heard someone reading and children laughing. She almost missed it, so she had to stop suddenly, causing Mrs. Ertl to trip. As Daisy entered the room, all the children looked back to see her. Daisy surveyed the room and found Callie. She ran over and started licking Callie all over the face. "Daisy!" Callie said as she tried to get Daisy to stop licking her. The reader, Mr. Gonzalez, went over to help Mrs. Ertl get up and make sure she was okay. Then he went to where Daisy was licking Callie. "Excuse me, miss," Mr. Gonzalez said, "but if you're going to be in here, you need to behave. Just sit nicely next to Callie and listen." Daisy sat, and Mr. Gonzalez went back to reading. Daisy was so caught up in the story and the fact that she was sitting there next to Callie, she didn't notice Mom in the doorway. Mom was quiet as she walked over to where Daisy and Callie were. She tapped Callie on the shoulder and motioned for her to follow her. Outside the room, Daisy was excited to introduce Mom to Callie. Mom said, "Daisy, sit, wait." Daisy sat like a good girl. "Thank you, young lady, for holding on to Daisy for me. I'm sorry if she disturbed you," said Mom. Callie explained how she used to read to Daisy all the time. Mom was very happy to meet her. She had wondered where Daisy got her love of someone reading to her. "You can come to visit Daisy anytime and read to her," said Mom. Daisy didn't want to leave the library, so Mom had to drag her by her collar. She hadn't brought a leash, thinking it was just a quick trip to the bank. As they drove home, Mom said, "Well, Daisy, you've had quite an exciting day. You must be tired." When she didn't see Daisy, she looked in the back seat. Daisy was fast asleep, dreaming of the library, Callie, and Mom, her 3 favorite things in the world. This is Grandma Lori. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like my stories, please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share. Thank you.